How's it going, boys? My name is SlayerKey. Today we're going to be looking at Radiant Initiators. What do they do that's so different than the rest of us? What keeps them at the top and us at the bottom? We're going to be finding out stuff that even the lower ranks could use. So I've got a few VODs lined up from top level players, and we're going to see what they do. I'm going to break down what they do and why they do. And I'm going to try to break down what they're doing and why they're doing it. So the first thing we're seeing is waiting with some sort of utility. This is really common for initiators to wait for that perfect timing to use their this is really common with initiators to wait for that perfect time to use their ability. You're gonna see Tens here just holds this, waits. He's waiting for some sort of contact or noise that tells him he's out. The dog comes through, you see he comes out right when enemies use utility, we expect them to enter off of it. This is a key thing I tell a lot of my initiators. When the util comes in, you have to be ready to counter that util and you have to get something out of it. So he's waiting for a timing where he can actually get something out of this utility, whether it's a player, whether it's an ability, right? We trade the sky dog and it's still pretty good value, or we just deny a hit, or you're just denying space. So he doesn't use it here, no one's coming up off of it, he's just holding. Now here's something very slight that most players won't notice, is when he pushes over to the site, we can see Omen's vision cone gets cut off right at this line. And what this means is that Sage walled across, there's likely, so we can prioritize. What this means is Sage walled across here, so we can prioritize fighting this next area here. This is a nice reason to use his stun here. And you notice he uses it to assist teammates and helping take back space, to help them take fights. And he also makes sure to communicate the utility before it even starts to happen. So this Omen has time to react. Okay, then after the stun, he sees Omen peek here, checks the right, so he knows nothing's close to the smoke. Figures wide as well scale into it. Here's some steps on site.
I don't have any flashes.
He waits for this person spamming the smokes to stop spamming the smoke, because that's an insta timing where most players wouldn't expect someone to swing out. Notice how he peeks before even thinking for a split second. He's literally just waiting for this opportunity to open, and as soon as he actually peeks here, you can hear the person in the background reload. And then this is the other player waiting, gets the kill, immediately pulls out the flash. Literally just beautiful instincts here. Scales to the side, right? Because if I'm Bob here and I'm trying to re-peek to trade my teammate, you're not going to be able to kill me if I scale left here. And this allows him to pop his flash off the box, get a nice another kill. Good on Omen, all the team. And this was a pretty clean round. Boys, if you're enjoying the content and interested in getting yourself some nice benefits while also supporting this channel, you can click on the link in the description where we have 3 options, all with the help you might be looking for. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. Now I'm going to go over to Sky on pretty much the same map. This is Fake Nanas, an insane initiator, but mostly KO player. Today he's going to be on Sky and we're going to see what he does. First thing we hear is lots on pistol. It's really common for this insta rotate to happen just off anything. He has dog and flash here. Notice as when he noticed teams grouped up, he peeks, he doesn't see anything. He wants to kind of fight for ramps control. He has 3 teammates sort of close to him, so he wants to fight with them. This is the same thing as the breach stun essentially, where you want teammates to be able to take the space and you want people to push with the utility to make sure it gets value. So Omen peeks, both players try fighting them. Unfortunately, it's not a deep enough angle, and they're not able to get the kill. But now they're fighting for ramps control. I mean, this is going amazing. Jumps down here in case the Cypher's lurking. You know, fair enough. Now this is the exact next round. We got wall mid. We're not sure who these guys are. They made some pressure mid. And I want you to notice what he does here. He just says, I can flash if you want to be greedy. Why not? You want to hop on this wall, I'll throw flash over it. Immediate team play. Notice the same idea here. The initiator assists a player, especially with the changes they made to Sky Flash. This thing is not as good for a self flash, but we'll see a bit more of that later. So flash mid, nothing mid. He decides to rotate A because it's also intel. No intel towards mid likely means there's players towards A or B, but he goes over A. Turns out they were towards B and they ended up coming back mid off the flash. And notice his weapon of choice here. Now he takes this fight. He knows one's stuck in the corner. He's trying to do a lot of jump shots. He's put himself for very, very little. Gets this. He knows this guy's stuck in the corner. Still goes for a flash anyways. And even waits a split second to mess with their idea of timing. And then he goes for a jump shot. He played this really well. But this is one of those situational flashes where like if they're running up mid, you wouldn't do the same kind of flash. But you can see the difference. Now we're going to go back to Tens. This is the exact next round. He's just holding a crosshair. Gets a nice flick on that arena. So he immediately rotates from screens. Because he's like, okay, there's no way they're just going to come off site after that. Goes up. And as he's going up, he's not even close to ramp yet. He's just telling his teammates what's going to be going on.
Or actually, I'll flash it. Right after the cage.
I'll come flash your ramp.
Flash it.
Calls the flash, peeks. That's a beautiful flash. That's a few blinded. Unfortunately, we got an Omen smoke that got popped. So our Omen kind of messed up this play. But he's able to make up for the stun, the missile. Really nice work. And his teammates know to play off him. I know some of us don't always have the fortune of having. But it's a very common theme that you will see the teammates fight with them here.
One B mid.
Okay, so we're noticing a very sporadic B hit. Woman tries to TP away.
I'm flashing one.
Tries to flash to help out. Stuns to help secure the bomb and also keep the space. Now all we kind of need is to keep this spike. Nice try. Kind of gets caught with the timing here. Asher smoke gets pulled.
Did you tap your camera?
But hey, even these guys get caught in mistakes like this. This time he switches it up. He's going ramps. Always a good idea once you become a little bit predictable with your positioning. But also he noticed he liked to go ramps more than sight. So I think there's a good reason to use this, right? He just used a flash and a dog. He uses this stun. It clears all this pathway. So he's denying space and he's trading 2 pieces of utility. This is a very nice stun and a very nice trade. And he gets the space after, basically denying their entire push. Now in higher ranking lobbies, if you can start a round off like this, it's basically over because you completely kill the momentum. And as long as no one else makes some silly mistake, you win the round. So he rotates towards screens. Looks like he retook this. Maybe it's just breach flash isn't that good on heaven, which is kind of true. Most flashes aren't really good for ramps. And then he comes here, and I want you to notice the comedy setup. Remember that we're always trying to like base our initiator util off some action. This is also a good tip for my flash players as well.
I'll flash off your trip. I'll flash off your trip.
And he calms it perfectly to the team, just flashing off the trip, right? And this is something I'll draw for you guys. This is kind of like the flash zone you're really looking for, and you need them to be committed on site. This is what I would call a commit. Once players cross into this box, they're committed. And this is also why this trip is so good. Good job on the cipher. And this is why this flash is also so good. If you flash in this area, you think about this player here, how many angles they have to worry about if they're here. Immediately also getting hit by a trip is absolutely terrifying. And getting hit by a flash, this is basically a guaranteed kill. Also, if this person's here, the odds that someone's right behind them attached is pretty damn high. This is a really nice setup by Tens here.
Stuck.
Again,
There's 2 there, 2 ramps.
patience. Wait for that timing. The timing doesn't come, save that utility.
Sewers.
Now he knows some crazy flash here, maybe. Imagine. Notices 2 here. It's 3v4, so he might go a bit more aggressive.
Flash it. Flash it.
A bit more of an aggressive play. Allows him to take heaven pretty quick. He's kind of worried about his back, but he figures, I'll just take the risk. That's enough people outside. Does a really high flash, comes out, misses the raise. So he tucks back, goes for a quick repeat, gets away with that timing. That's a nice timing. Kind of keeps his elbow player away with this, which lets him focus this player a bit longer. Gets him a nice timing of his omen. And then he's also trying to open up a nice timing for himself to go elbow. So he didn't want his omen to go aggressive in this game. One thing we've kind of seen in this game is the omen doesn't play along with the team, but he throws this flash as he's pretty far back to kind of fake that he's trying to peek rafters with it. So we can get an unexpected play towards screens here.
Just hide.
Again, just really well played. Notice Arena completely oblivious looking at rafters.
I'm gonna push it.
Again, like same exact thing. This is so beautiful. I know so many players who would just immediately drop stun here, but again, he's always waking. He's always waiting for that time where he knows a player's in this area, where he knows they overcommitted, or he knows they use too much utility, and he just completely punishes them for that mistake. So I know some people would just stun after this, right? We get a first blood, we stun after we get the kill. They throw a raise nade and raise slow into vents. That's a lot of util. Also flashing up here. This is a lot of utility. This is like 3 players at least mid. They're throwing all this util. You know, what do people do off util usually? They push. So he sets himself back up, tries to get more distance. Can help with the little red box here on the breach stun. And then he hears the raise satchel, boom. This is an overcommitted player. Free kill. That's a 5v3 start to the round. He even does this to kind of keep him back.
Flash out.
Now, one thing he tries to do very frequently is like set himself up for these very advantageous positions. He early rotates towards A, and he's thinking, oh, they killed the A player in sewers. They're likely going to go A. So we're going to early rotate over to A and just set ourselves up for a stun in case they get here. This is like the highest probability what most players would do. A good way to think about this is like if you're pushing mid and you're facing a bunch of resistance, but then you get pushed from here and that is only a little resistance and then you easily deal with it. it makes going towards this area really enticing. So a lot of players would end up doing this. They do take a lot of time and end up re-hitting mid. So unfortunately the read didn't pay off, but still really good positioning. Absolutely nothing wrong. Now he switches over to B.
They're going heaven. In heaven.
Yeah, do you want me to flash it for you, Omen, or no?
No.
Notice how he kind of asked his teammate for the flash. Again, very big initiator thing. Also got on other agents, but initiators especially have these ideas of, let me use my abilities to help you out a little.
Alright, yeah, flash right here. Flash.
Yeah, ready?
Right, yeah.
Flashing?
All he did was ask. This is something you can do in your lobbies very easily, especially if you had teammates who talk. So they recall the B. You should be aware that they could be close new box right now.
Yeah, you hear them coming up, Kaide? I can stun this line for you.
No, I don't.
You want advance, you want advance.
Yep.
He asked his teammates a pretty important question. One, he asked, do you hear them coming up? And he also says, I can stun this line. So asking your teammates if you hear anything is like a easy way to get someone to calm something correctly for you. Because if they're going A, they're going to be running. The player's going to hear him.
Coming up, Kaide?
And you'll
I can stun
notice
this.
he asked, she doesn't hear anything. He goes back B. Turns out to be a B hit.
Heaven.
He stuns. He goes really aggressive here. Most players would be afraid, but big key thing is it's 3v5. He's just trying to deny this hit super heavy.
One B main.
No, wait.
And this is an insane high impact play that almost paid off for Tens. He gets that final kill. That would have been crazy. But notice how he gets himself in this nice position to push. So he uses stun to allow him to scale out. It's a little risky. Gets caught with the random flash, but he's immediately running. He's not trying to fight here. He's trying to go back. Checks B main, nothing B main. Now he ults where people are coming from. So we can see a lot of breach especially is about this sort of positioning yourself up to use this utility really nicely. Waiting especially for that nice timing to use the stun, to use the flash. Making sure to coordinate with your teammates. And if we go over to his attack, look at how similar it is. He calls his utility. He uses util as teammates are grouped right outside the main when there's nothing else really stopping them from going out. So as soon as the stun hits, they're out this smoke. They're going outside. He's waiting in case for a sight peek there. That's actually something very interesting. He chooses to support with the flash because he's like, oh, there's two people. There's one backside. I'll flash for the team. Make sure I get the trade. That's an interesting play.
One elbow, one elbow.
Elbow.
It's so trouble.
Get some nice picks here.
One more heaven.
Unfortunately, just don't win these fights. Don't get sight very easily. They lose that round.
After peak, okay?
There's two here.
So they're just playing contact A. He gets a nice pick. After that pick, it is go, go, go time. I love to tell people this because once you get that initial pick, you gotta explode, use your util, use everything, get out sight. Because as soon as this pick happens, everyone on the map, this Raze mid, these B players, maybe someone else potentially heaven, they're all moving towards this direction because they're like, oh, it's an A hit. Let's get the hell over there. Place this corner. Honestly, even Tens has this. When you have another teammate and they're like 2 feet away from you, it's really uncomfortable and you get really unsure of like, wait, what are we supposed to do here?
Ready? I'm gonna stun this. I'm gonna stun this and I'm gonna flash to the deep pillar twice, okay? Ready?
You notice how he calms everything. He tells exactly what's gonna happen. Notice how he's setting up the plan. You know, the Omen's gotta throw his smokes, we throw this utility. This is a good enough sight hit. So he's stunning, default, then he's flashing the deep pillar
3,
twice.
2, 1, stunning.
There's the
Flashing
stun. Notice there's nothing stopping them. Notice the whole team's ready to go out. Notice how I'm
Flashing backside
almost
once.
repeating myself on the way we set these things up. Both the flashes go out. Notice how clean a lot of these sites were. Very nice dash in.
So, someone plant?
That's just a crazy hit.
Yeah, I'll stun backside in 1
Same
second, okay?
thing. He's calming to stun.
Ready? I'm
Sees
stunning.
one close. He's stunning here more to like cancel out a potential other push, but also because like this Reyna just took a lot of space. She was this close. So throwing the stun lets him get a bit more space back, just in case she was here. So I mean, this is more of a Sky masterclass here because the Sky is going to be doing the initiating. Notice they use the Sky ult first. You don't really want to dog after a Sky ult because the Seekers are already dogs.
Stunning.
Close right.
But he tries to stun the players he finds.
Yep.
Just push this player out and runs at her with the shorty. Almost gets the potential.
Oh, they walked that right.
Very scuffed hit. It's tough. I would say this is like one of those times where we just needed everyone to be up grouped and going out with this utility. Because we have Cypher lurking ramps. And if we're going to do a fast A ramp hit, we need the entire team to be here, ideally, because it's a fast hit. So a lot of these lurks aren't really going to be effective if we have trouble getting sight. So he knows this one's elbow.
They skydive
Either
me,
opping, so he opts so he can't peek for a sec. Also just missiles so he can't peek. Literally just trying to use everything. Calm to his omen to peek even. And he just gets shot through the smoke. This is tough. This is tough. There's not much you can do. Now, one thing you didn't see from Tens a lot is these early intel flashes, because Breach is not an intel initiator, which has been unfortunate. But what we'll see a lot of is these early flashes to kind of clear a certain area to allow you to focus another. And this could be anywhere on the map. Usually you see it in main, so we usually flash like deep A main or deep B main. You can do this with the KO knife, do this with a sky flash, you do this with Fade Eye, or you do in like one of these markets. This is more so split because if you clear this right side, it allows you to fight this side, which is really nice. It also kind of fakes for his jet here who's opping, so they're like, oh, the sky flash, sky is here. And people can forget for like a split second that that op's there and just peek right into it. I've never seen anyone do this. You throw the sky dog at the floor so it flashes under for you. That is some cool tech and a really nice flash. And here we go, another early intel flash. So you'll notice like good players will tend to just repeat these things over and over and over again. Remember that a lot of initiator util works the same across all agents with like how you use it. You follow what you learned today in this video, and I guarantee you'll start climbing. You'll see better performance of your initiator. And I honestly hope this video as well. If you guys like this, let me know. I can do this for other agents, other roles. I could talk about these things for hours. Have a good one and stay safe out there.